Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of Chasing the Card. I'm James Pratt with our co-host, Big Poppy, Alex Arguelles. And today we have Mikayla Adair, bikini competitor, power lifter, mom, full-time employee. We've got a lot of content, a lot of questions to get to, so let's bring her on.
Just want to say thanks for coming on the show. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to do this, but I wanted to talk to you first and have you walk us through, your 2019 competition season. Tell us about what all shows you did and then where you placed in those shows.
Okay. I did the Arkansas, the All-South Muscle Championships. I was novice in that one, and I did open too. I won my novice class, and then second, so I naturally qualified in the open division, which was pretty cool because those are like my two major goals for the year. And
that
then,
was your first show?
Yeah.
Nationally qualified in your first show.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was exciting.
Wow, that's fantastic. No, that's great.
Yeah. The best part was
That's
I got
huge.
a crown, so I mean that was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, it goes right along with it.
I was about
Yeah,
to
it
say, fitting
does,
for
I
a
know.
princess.
Yeah, it's a princess, so it worked.
Yeah.
Then I went to Nebraska and I placed fourth in my open class, and then Texas. So I did Texas Legends and placed third in my open class. And
Wow, that's great.
yeah, both of them were pretty stacked classes too, so I wasn't too ticked off about it. I was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, which physique did you like the best?
Texas.
I know you, Texas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think I kind of grew into the look I was going for in prep. So yeah, I think Arkansas was a little soft, but moving towards like Texas, I kind of leaned out a little bit, and everything looked the way that I thought in my head. Besides, like where I wanted to add some size,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, you qualified early.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
man, that's fantastic.
Goals.
Yeah.
I mean, you just kind of hit a major goal that most people have, which is turning their passion for fitness into a career.
Yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations,
Well,
by the way,
thanks,
on that. Can you talk us through kind of your thought process, what you did before, and then how you knew you could make that transition?
Yeah, I guess I always unapologetically believe in myself. Like, I'm always going to be my biggest fan. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I don't want anybody to think that I can do something more than I can. Like,
Sure.
I need to drive myself, So whenever I knew that I wanted to train was because I saw like what it did for me, like what fitness brought into my life and kind of like what it gave back to my life. And I knew I wanted to give that to other women or other moms. And I went and got my certification, and then everything just kind of fell into my lap. Like, I didn't look for anything. I didn't look for clients. I didn't look for a gym to train at. I didn't look for classes to teach. I didn't look for anything. It all just came to me. And so I just kind of knew that I had to follow that path. And so I did it for about a year. And then, things kind of happened at my job to where I knew I had to leave. And I was like, well, now's the time. It all just kind of happened. Yeah.
I think that speaks volumes for obviously, your knowledge and skill set, because, the things don't just fall into everybody's lap like that. If you don't know what you're doing, things fall out of your lap pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah.
So you say that like it's just, dumb luck, but it's obviously based on, what you bring to the table in that area.
Yeah. And really, I think that it's the passion and like the drive that's almost contagious. Like, to me, going to the gym is fun, and I love to like be there and like have a good time, and that's kind of like it draws people to you. So like that's I think where a lot of my client base, they're attracted to the way that maybe I communicate or that I teach things or how it comes across.
Now you're doing classes too, right?
Yeah. Fine.
Let me ask you this, Mikayla. What you said a few seconds ago, you said that something on to the effect that you had to leave, or it was time for you to leave.
Yes.
Can you expand on that? What are you saying?
Well, I'm just kidding. I was in dispatch actually for 5 years of my police department career. So in dispatch a lot, you have to learn to compartmentalize quite a bit. And, you listen to people sometimes take their last breaths. And after I had JSA, I just was kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I was in a supervisory position, and I just was like, I don't want to do this. And so I stepped back and I went into records, and then just, again, like the domino effect, something happens out there, and those people are like, they're like my family, but I feel like there's an expiration date with everything that's like that. Is you have to decide, like, is this worth my mental health? And the answer for me was no, it does not.
How many years were you with the police department? I mean,
over 7. So basically all of my 20s.
That's a long career.
Yeah. Now, did you step out and just say, I'm taking a leap of faith, I'm getting out of here, I'm gone? Or did you find a job and then planned everything out?
I planned everything out, but it was, it all fell into my lap. Like, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, because everything was kind of like, it was like, here you go, have fun. I mean, I knew, and I talked to Garrett a little bit about what we wanted to do with that. And he's like, well, just give it a year, because I'm impulsive. I like jump and make decisions. And he's like, whoa, like step back and give it a year, see if it's even worth, if you even like it. And I did. And then, of course, right whenever I'm getting ready to leave the police department, the girl at the front desk at the gym was like, well, I'm going to leave. And Garrett was like, well, find a part-time job the day before. And I'm like, well, I'll take your job then. And so it's just kind of like, cool. And then I, being front desk at the gym, you come face to face with everybody that comes through the door. So they get to see me, my card, my picture, So.
So how long were you in the gym before you decided to do your first show? Or like what prompted you to think like, okay, a bikini show is next?
Impulse. Literally, it was one of those impulse things. Yeah. So
were you already training?
No, I was, I guess, I don't know. When I was younger, I did a lot of working out. Obviously, whenever back in the day when I did the pageants, there was always the bikini division. And that was always kind of like what I dominated in. And I kind of found bikini early on, probably like 2014-ish. And I always knew I kind of wanted to do it, but had a daughter. And, once you have a kid, you kind of redefine your life a little bit. And so my goal is always not to let like one thing be my identity. And so I kind of like had to look for an outlet. And I didn't like the way that I looked. And I was like, you know what? The only way I'm going to stick to a diet and a workout is if I have a goal. And so 12 weeks out from Joe's show, I hired a coach and went to the gym for the first time in like 4 years. So that was cool. Yeah.
So you made a decision 12 weeks out.
Yep.
To get ready for your first show. And you were never in the gym.
Nope. Not for like 2 or 3 years beforehand.
Wow.
Yeah. And all I ate was candy. It was just, it just seemed like a good idea at the time. Kind of like everything else I do.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people who can do that.
No.
Now, are you saying you ate candy throughout your prep, or you were eating candy before the prep?
Way before. So I had really bad eating habits. And that was another driving thing for me, is because naturally my eating habits suck. Like, they're not good. Like, I love Chick-fil-A. I would eat Chick-fil-A, pizza, like candy, anything like that. That's all I want. And so I just was like, the only way for me, in my mind, to get my kid to want to eat right is if I ate right. So I decided to just go for it.
Did that work for you? Because mine still eat like
No, actually it did not.
Yeah. My kids got my sweet tooth. So
pizza bites, pizza rolls, that's all she wants. Lunchables. Yeah.
Our kids only wanted chicken tenders. Tenders and fries.
I'm just like, you know what? If you'll eat, just eat it. Just eat. Yeah.
How long have you been working with Hannah?
We're in our second year. Yeah. So about a year and a half. Yeah.
How did you find her 2 years ago?
Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah, a friend of mine had competed like forever ago, and she got an Angel competition bikini. Well, Angel sponsored Hannah, and I found out she was local, and then I always wanted to have a local coach. So
sure.
Yeah, I linked up with her.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. A lot of benefits to that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, when you're in your prep, you and Hannah have got you going. Yeah. Now, are you allowed to have cheat meals? Or are you very strict on your diet, what you do?
Generally,
do you allow yourself to have a cheat meal?
No, I only have a cheat meal if she tells me to. Like, in my mind, it's stupid to have a coach and not do what they tell you to do. Like, if you're paying somebody to tell you what to do, like, why would you do something else? I guess I don't know.
Right.
Which I think I need to take my own advice on that right now. But Yeah, she would tell me every now and then to go eat a burger, like if I hit a new low or if I was starting to look a little flat. And then we kind of messed around with what a peak week would look like with that to see kind of what we could fill out with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, for me personally, I would always have, you know, when we were in the show,
Mm-hmm.
I would, you know, I'd be very strict on my diet.
Mm-hmm.
But then after prejudging, that's when I would go and have my cheat meal.
Yep.
You know, I'd have my, you know, my hamburger and fries and get it down. Is that how you do it, or how do you do yours?
Yes. So depending on how I'm looking the night before, we might even go like a bunless burger type thing the night before. Sweet potato fries is a big one that we do. But yeah, that's really it. And then sometimes if I feel like it, in between prejudging and the night shows, whenever I would be able to have like what you're saying, that's when we would normally do my little Chick-fil-A thing because it looks good in the pictures. But yeah.
She figured out that Chick-fil-A does the trick.
Oh yeah, it's magic. It's the Lord's calories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's the Lord's calories. That's a good. You got to find as long as you find what works for your body and fills you out, because what works for you may not work for me or somebody.
Exactly. We'll go eat and then I take a nap and then that's it.
Yeah. You come back to rest and just kind of chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the best naps.
Oh yeah. Well, you know how it is when you're up in prep. You get up early. You're up super early because I'm always going through my routine. I'm going through everything I've got to do. I've got to eat.
Yeah.
You know. So now that you figured out Chick-fil-A is where it's at for your body in prep, what are you going to try to improve this year?
You know, everything needs to be improved. Honestly, I always say the only reason I placed as well as I did is because I can present very well, like posing.
Yeah.
And just the way that you can carry yourself and put across, you know, confidence or whatever. That was always something that I could do. But size, I lack. So I'm very small compared to the other bikini girls, which you think of bikini as being small anyway, but it's like I'm small on a whole another level. So like right now we're working on putting on some size.
Now, when you say you're small, are you talking about shoulders, legs, glutes? I mean,
all of the above.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when I saw your Texas Legend, I mean, you're really good. You look full. You look good in proportion, great symmetry. Your body flowed. So so those girls were a little bit.
Yeah, they just had more muscle mass.
More muscle mass. Yeah. Now,
how did Hannah feel when you told her you were going to get into powerlifting?
Do what?
Yeah.
How did Hannah feel when you told her you were going to get into powerlifting?
She was all for it. I think her exact words to me, I sent her a picture of like the flyer that's at the gym, you know, and she was like, I was thinking about if anybody could afford to put on slabs of muscle, it would be you. So go ahead and do it. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was your main goal to get into powerlifting though? Was it to put on size or?
Kind of. It was the food. I'll be honest.
Hey, that's okay.
I came out of prep like a week before Halloween, like 5 days before Halloween. Yeah. So, and I have the world's worst sweet tooth. So I was just eating nonstop. And I just thought I should put it to use. And then it was just kind of like, oh, hey, powerlifting sounds fun. Let's do it. Yep. So, literally impulse. Everything.
Well, but you do have a competition coming up, though.
I do. 5 days.
Yeah. In 5 days?
Yeah.
Now, is that a local competition or are you traveling?
Local. It's at my home gym, J Street.
Is it the J Street gym?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How many powerlifting competitions do you plan on doing this off season?
1, maybe 2. So we're looking at maybe 1 in April, just because I seem to progress pretty quickly with it.
Yeah.
It's been kind of cool. Yeah. So.
Is, Sanchez coaching you for that one?
Yeah. Sanchez has worked with me a lot to get my totals up and stuff. So it's been pretty cool. Learned a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So how is your, you talked about you get to eat.
Yeah.
So how is off-season eating for powerlifting? Is it the same as you would do as you're getting in your bikini off-season?
Yeah, I think so. In bikini, it seems like we try to prioritize a little bit more carbs, where powerlifting, it's all about the protein, like what you're getting protein-wise. So we've kind of had to bring that up a little bit, and the carbs are lower than they were my previous off-season. But again, part of that is poor self-control right now. So, Yeah. But yeah, definitely more protein prioritization. Yeah.
You know, I've seen powerlifters just the other day when I was doing cardio, and they come in and they're carrying, I thought it was a scale to go weigh themselves, but it was a 24 pack of donuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're eating that before they train. And to me, that's just foreign to me.
Yeah.
So
for sure. It's so weird. That's cool.
But you don't eat like that though, right? For powerlifting, I mean,
I wouldn't say I don't, but I don't eat just like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have a lot more freedom with what I eat right now. Like, I just finished Chick-fil-A and ice cream. I'm not even lying. But
what kind of ice cream do you have?
Oh, I like cookies and cream.
Okay.
All day. And
all right.
But yeah, I mean, you use it. I mean, even though you're only doing like 1 or 2 reps, it's like you're toast after those 1 or 2 reps for like a solid 5 to 10 minutes. It's so weird.
So what's your total so far in powerlifting?
Not much. I think I'm only at like 650. So.
Hey, but that's awesome.
I mean, I weigh 140, so I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not too mad about it, but.
Yeah, let's say.
No, I think that's great. Mm-hmm. So is this a normal weight for you then at 140? Is that a normal off-season weight?
No. Oh no.
Where do you try to keep your weight, Mikayla?
Last off-season I only went up to 126. So yeah,
wow.
So I'm quite a ways off of that. And this is probably the heaviest I've been ever. And it's kind of uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's like I look at kind of the body composition, and it's a lot different than it was. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I feel fluffy and kind of way above stage weight, but I also know that whenever I cut, the shapes are going to be a lot different, and there's a lot more muscle there. So I feel like we're accomplishing my goal either way. Fluffy or not.
Fluffy or not.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all right. Yeah. Off season, we all get a little fluffy. That's the time to get a little fluffy.
Absolutely.
If you're going to put fluff on, this is the time to do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we're going to have to kind of come down a little bit, maybe like a mini cut before my cut, because I compete pretty low for my height, especially.
What do you get? What do you go down to?
About 113.
Oh, wow.
And I'm 5'7". So that's when I say I'm tiny, like that's
tiny.
I'm tiny. Yeah. So 140 is about a average weight for my height. So it's weird. Weird to be average.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, now, when are you going to start your bikini prep for 2020? When is that actually going to officially start?
Well, probably May or June.
May or June?
Yeah. Give me some more time to put on a little bit more and then do the mini cut, kind of see where we're at. Because I'm aiming for nationals in November.
Okay. So so one show this year, nationals, and that's it. That's what you're
nationals, doing. And then probably Texas, and then another nationals. I really want to do Arnold Amateur 2021, so we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, dream big, right?
Why not dream big?
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the show chasing the card.
That's right.
Doing here, streaming big.
That's what you're doing.
Yes.
Now, any aspirations whatsoever to take powerlifting to another level?
No.
None.
Just something fun to do in the off season.
Just something fun to do.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time. So, yeah.
Just because this is a tough question. Me being a father, you being a mother, Alex being a father.
Mm-hmm.
When we're in competition prep, you get stressed. There's a lot of things happening. You're restricting your calories, your food, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how did you find the balance between being a significant other, a mother, full-time employee, and a competitor? How did you balance all that?
I don't know. I think I heard somebody once say that if you're going to prep, there's no such thing as balance. And I kind of feel like that's my life in a nutshell. Like, I always would get up before work. So like 5:30, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock sometimes to go to the gym, get my lift out of the way. And then I'd get my daughter, and she loves to go to the gym. So she felt like that was always like a treat to go do my evening cardio or teach my classes. But, then we have maybe some family time if we're lucky. But mostly I just focus on her about, making sure she feels like she gets enough of me. So I always set like special like bedtime routines and stuff. So
Yeah.
Does
she go to shows with you?
Does she do what?
Does she go to the shows with you?
No.
Not yet.
No, not yet. She's gonna go to the powerlifting meet, but I don't think she'd be interested in that bodybuilding at all.
Yeah.
She's 4.
How old
she
is She's 4.
Yeah.
No, 4 years old, you're going everywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, she is kind of like a 40-year-old. She'll just like be like, sit down, be quiet. Dude, chill. Like, I'm your mom. I'm supposed to say that.
That's right.
But let's see that belt.
The belt?
That you
Oh,
just got in.
yeah.
Yeah, let's show that off a little bit.
Hold on.
Is
Let
that
me go
nearby?
grab it. My kid moved it. So, you know how toddlers move everything. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
They move it all.
This belt?
There it is. Yep.
It's so
Been
tiny.
rocking that at
So,
the
like,
Powerlift
at
meet.
its smallest, it's this big.
Oh, wow.
Smoke.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well. I guess I'm small again.
There it is. Now, did you use that when you power lift?
Yep. I just got it today. I
did?
ordered it. Yeah. So I ordered it like in December. I figured if I was going to do it, I was going to get one that I loved. So, yeah.
How did Princess get put on you?
How did Princess? Oh, Princess was given to me. I was born into that role. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I actually, I did pageants for like, oh God, forever, basically. I paid for college with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. But Miss America is the largest provider of scholarships for young women, and I competed in that. And
wow.
So
awesome. People just called me Princess growing up because I always had a crown.
That's awesome. That really stuck. Speaking of Princess.
Now, I noticed that in some of your pics, you have a few tattoos. So how many do you have, and do they have any special meaning?
I have, oh God, 5? 5.
5?
Yes, 5. Really, they're just kind of there. I have 2 probably, that have a special meaning. Okay, this is funny. I guess it's probably not that funny, but when I was 16, and I like 16, 17, I went on a trip to Europe, and my parents were really mad because I didn't call them or something like that. And I'm like, well, I could be doing something bad. I could be getting a tattoo. So I did.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So I did. Yeah.
So you got your first tattoo in Europe?
I did. Yes. I remember
what
being
was
at like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and like sprinting across with my cousin to get back to this like janky tattoo parlor.
Oh,
and we got matching tattoos on our hips, which, you know, we were 16, so we grew, and now they're basically on our butt cheeks. So that's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you get? Do you mind me asking?
It says "Life is beautiful" in Italian. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I did.
Well, at 16, I mean.
It's a cool story now, though.
You're 16. Yeah. But right, it turned out to be a good story.
Yeah. Nobody believes me that I have a butt cheek tattoo, but it's there. It's there.
That's hey. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I've noticed some things, you know, from when bikini very first started. Vision.
Right.
You know, they were smooth, they were curvy, and you know, as every year with every division, they take you harder and harder and harder.
Right.
And now, you know, it seems to me, and you being the competitor can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but it seems where your bodies now are getting pretty hard. You know, you can see the development in your quads, great abs, and it used to not be that way. I mean, where do you see the division going as far as moving the bodies harder and harder? What do you think about that?
I think they're actually starting to back off of that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that Ashley Kaltwasser got some feedback that she was coming in too hard. And so she really can't lift much because of that. They're going towards like the softer physique with maybe like the bigger lats. But with the introduction of the wellness, it seems like that kind of gave those bigger and harder girls kind of a way to move up, while the bikini can stay kind of in the softer range.
Okay. Would you see yourself ever going up to the wellness division? Would you do that?
No. No. I think I'm made for bikini. I really do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my genetics are just for that. Yeah.
Now, are you sponsored by anybody right now? Are you looking for sponsors?
Kind of both. I am teamed up with Angel Competition Bikinis in First Form. So I get basically a discount code and kickbacks on that. But, you know, with a sport like this, you can never have too many sponsors.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's very interesting to me is, for a classic physique or an open bodybuilder, we go, we put on our little, our suit, which is, it's like basically underwear.
Yeah.
But y'all have so much that you have to go through.
Ugh.
It's really amazing what y'all have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of talk about that process and how you get all that set up and how long it takes. And
it takes forever. So, I guess with that, I'm kind of fortunate because I can do most of it myself. So like hair and makeup, that's, to me, I can do it on my own time. But I know a lot of girls, they have to book and they'll start at like 3 and 4 in the morning to get the makeup artist that they want. Yeah. And I like to sleep. So I always did that. And then I have extensions that I wear for the show, and those are pre-curled. So all I have to do is kind of get my hair to blend with it. So I can do it pretty quickly. For makeup, I can crank it out in about 30 minutes. But like we're talking like false eyelashes, like full on cake face, and the whole thing.
Yeah, she actually put out a tutorial, I saw.
I did,
on how to do your own stage makeup, and it's awesome.
Well, thanks. Yeah, a lot of people ask me about it. I guess not a lot of people know how to do makeup, but I just figured I was like, well, I'll just do a video, so then maybe somebody asks me again, I can just be like, just go watch this.
And then the night before, you get your base tan. Is that the same way? You get your base tan, then you get your second tan?
Yeah, we only do the base tan and then the top coat. So I think that some bodybuilders will do 3 coats sometimes. It seems like you're darker than us.
We want to be pretty dark.
Yeah, and we're just we're not quite as dark, but even that, I mean, I do myself some, unless Pro Tan's there. I like them. So I do the DIY stuff, and we just do it on my time. It takes everything, all the stress out of it. I just get to chill.
You do your own tan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's cheaper and it's easier.
Oh, it's definitely it would be cheaper.
Yeah, it's like $60 for one of those things. But we only did that for the Texas show. On the other one, on the other ones, I had a spray tan done, but it was fine.
It is. How can people find you for coaching?
I do a lot through my Instagram. Princess Mikayla Fit. Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, James, that was really cool to get an insight into the whole bikini world, because you and I are really close to that world, so it was interesting to get her perspective on even something as small as the prep to get ready backstage and stuff like that. What'd you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was phenomenal. She brought up a lot of good insights to the bikini world. That, of course, you like you just said, you and I are really not in that world, so it was really neat to listen and see the things how she trains and how she gets ready for a show, and how it's kind of the same but different from ours.
Speaking of interesting stuff, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and then we'll be back with another portion of this, part 2. So make sure that you've got your post notifications on, so you get the notification when the second part of this video comes out, and Mikayla gives even more information about everything else she's doing with fitness at the moment.